couple of books actually fell off my head making that thumbnail. Well, since they fell off my head, I guess I will talk about these first. Haiku. Oh, I guess I should start with the intro for this video. I'm sorry, I haven't made a actual video with me in front of the camera in a while, as you guys probably know, because this is my Orilium Readathon Wrap Up, and I didn't vlog the last 2 weeks of it. And that's mainly because I did nothing. I did nothing productive at all. Well, I'm not going to say at all. But I didn't do anything productive in the sense of something you guys would be interested in seeing. It was mostly journaling stuff. And I also didn't read much. I'll get on to the why of that later in the video. But let's move on. Let's talk about all the books I read, which is a lot for me, considering the way that my year has been going reading-wise, but it's not a lot overall. The first 3 books I read was volumes 38, 39, and 40 of Haiku. I absolutely love Haiku. It's one of my favorite manga and anime series in the sports genre. Gotta preface that because I have a lot of favorites. These books, 38 was for a 5-star prediction. It didn't get a 5 stars, it's like a 4 stars. 39 was for the challenge of a book with a school setting. Technically, doesn't have a school setting, but this overarching series has a kind of school setting. And it's a school sport, so I'm sticking with it. And volume 40 was for my character creation challenge of a book set in a city or town. This is set in Tokyo, so it fits. The first book I actually started off reading was Even the Darkest Stars by Heather Fawcett. This went to the challenge of, what did this was a character creation challenge. Read a book largely set in a forest or outside. This is set pretty much entirely outside because the main character is, she's kind of a mountain climber. I can't remember, it's been a while since I read this book, so I can't remember if there's a specific name for it. I know it's like Royal Explorer is what she wants to be, but she's not a royal explorer in this, so I'm not exactly sure if there's another word that they use in this book besides mountain climber for what she does. But that's essentially what she does. She climbs mountains for the fun of it. This surprised me. This was a fairy loot book, and I didn't expect to enjoy it at all. But it's easily, like, this duology was easily my favorite books that I read during the readathon. I will say that I preferred the first one over the second one just because there's a character death that should have happened in this book that didn't happen. And it upsets me that it didn't happen. And to be completely honest, I don't think anybody would have been sad about this character dying at all. But speaking of this went to the challenge of reading a dark academia book. I know there's a lot of different ways that people see dark academia. Some people see it as a school setting, some see it as like a gothic read, some see it as the aesthetic of the book. I took it as an aesthetic, so that's, how it's, since that's how I took it, I felt like this book kind of fit really well into it, and I wanted to read the duology anyways, so I was going to fit this in and do the challenge for it. Speaking of dark things, the next book I read was Survive the Night, and this was by Daniel Vega. This was for the challenge of read a thriller or mystery book. I think this can be considered a mystery book, sort of. For some reason I thought this was also a contemporary book, but it's more like a supernatural book or horror book. I didn't particularly care for this book. I think it was, I can't remember what star rating I gave this, but I think it was like a 2.5 or 3 stars, somewhere around there. It wasn't horrible. It also wasn't good. One of the characters should have died 20 million times. There is no reason they should be alive when everyone else died in the stupid ways they did. And then one of the people that died at the end did not deserve the death, and they were actually the only person I was rooting for. And I'm really trying not to spoil it, because I really do think you should just go into this not knowing anything like I did. And I'm not saying that that would make it a better book, but I'm also saying that I just don't want to spoil who dies, because in the circumstances that these characters are in, anyone could die. And like I said, the fact that this one character just didn't die was basically just having it so they could wrap up the story in a certain perspective. And instead of having it in a third-party perspective, once everyone has been killed, they just played it the way they did. And it was done in a very poor way, in my opinion. But at the same time, it was also unexpected how everything churned up at the end. I would honestly have liked to seen like an epilogue of this taking place months later after the one character that does live kind of migrates back into normal life with all of her friends and acquaintances dead. But the ending we got was kind of okay. We kind of see that she's healing, or she's going to heal at least, and become a better person, which is nice, but it would have been nice to also see it. Now, the last book that I read for this readathon was for the challenge of reading a standalone, and this finishes my novice path. I only actually had to read like 2 books for the novice path, so I finished that with reading 2 of the mangas. Character creation, I'm actually not finished with. I still have 3 challenges left, but I also have until I think April to do them, so I'm not really worried about them. But reading a standalone, I read The Unexpected Everything by Morgan Matson, and this book is the reason why I didn't do any more reading really for the rest of the month. And it's also the reason that I just simply did not vlog at all. I actually finished this book in November, like at the tail end of November, maybe actually the beginning of December. I can't remember, but it was a long time after I started it. I was reading this book for weeks, and that's not saying it's a bad book. It was actually pretty interesting. I will say, I really enjoyed Since You've Been Gone a lot more than this. But this isn't a horrible book. It was, I think I gave this like a 4 stars. It was actually really good. But my problem with this book is, and I think my problem with Morgan Matson books in general, which is why I'm going to take a break from reading her books, is the fact that this is a 500 plus page book, but it's only 19 or 20 chapters, and that just doesn't sit well with me when it's a contemporary. It's like, yes, there is more stuff going on, or it's 20 chapters. There's a kind of a lot going on, enough to keep you interested, enough to keep you invested, enough to keep you liking the characters. But you read, or at least in my case, I read 1 chapter of this and it felt like I'd run a marathon and I needed to take a 2 to 3 day break to recuperate from it. So I was literally reading 1 chapter at a time. Sometimes I would force myself to read 2, but it was just, I was slugging my way through it. I was enjoying it, but I would get through 1 chapter and I just couldn't read anymore. Because even though I was liking it, it would take me sometimes an hour or 2 to get through a single chapter. And sometimes that would be me listening to the audiobook on double speed, trying to get through a chapter. So I was, well, yeah, most of it was a double speed. I think at the beginning I was starting on 1.6 speed till I got used to it. But the point is, this is why I couldn't read anymore. Because I was slugging my way through it. And I didn't want to pick up 2 books at once because I knew if I did, I just wouldn't finish this. And that was sad. So I'm taking a break from Morgan Matson books, and honestly, this kind of put me in a reading slump. Not that I was in a reading mood to begin with. This just didn't help. So I ended up buying the Mina Lima copy of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and I'm currently reading this book. I'm on page like 160, so I'm almost halfway through the book. These editions are beautiful and I love them. If you guys have a problem with J.K. Rowling at the point and you don't want to support her books, don't support her books. I don't care one way or the other. I grew up with Harry Potter. I love Harry Potter. So I'm going to continue buying the books in the versions that I like. I can personally separate the book from the author. So whether she gets royalties from these, I really don't care. Me giving her a little bit of money for a book is not going to hurt her bank account any at all. Me refusing to buy the books or any of the merch is not going to hurt her at all. They're still showing the movies on TV. She's still getting royalties from that. They're still making new movies. She's getting royalties from that. Me buying a book or not buying a book doesn't matter one way or the other. So that's my stance on that. Before anyone leaves a comment about me supporting J.K. Rowling, my little piece of money that I put into this book does not matter at all. And I also got it severely discounted. I got like it 30% off. So in my book, that's a win-win. So these are the books I read for the Orilium Readathon. I completed the Novice Path. I have not watched the wrap up video that G made on her channel. Honestly, once I get into a period of watching videos, like whether it's gaming, journaling, booktube, I usually stay in that little niche for a while and I get backed up on all the other ones. So I haven't been on booktube since the beginning of October when I decided to do this readathon, well past when you were actually supposed to do it. Oh, yeah, there's that. Something I want to talk about before I end this video is the fact that me trying to vlog during the Orilium Readathon, I hated it. I have never really liked vlogs before because I felt like I always had to stay constantly busy or doing something. And my day-to-day, besides like talking to the family that comes in and out of my house, helping with my aunt, is just me sitting in front of this computer and multitasking and doing different things. I rarely leave my room unless it's for food or to take my dog out. So, I don't do much. I maybe go to the grocery store twice a month. And this isn't because of COVID. This is just because I'm a hermit and I don't like to leave the house and have to deal with people. So, me vlogging, what am I gonna do? Vlog me sitting in front of the computer? That would be so incredibly boring, and I can't do that. So I think from now on, if I do any more vlogs, because I don't want to cut them out completely, because there are some days when I am like extremely busy and I would like to vlog and do like a small reading vlog while I am doing my day-to-day stuff and the extra stuff that I planned for that day. I think if I do any of those, they'll be like maybe weekend vlogs or like 24-hour reading vlogs. It wouldn't be something that's going to be very long and drawn out, like over a few day period. I can't do that anymore. I will say my days and nights are back to normal. That's something that has changed in the last couple weeks, which I'm very happy about. So I do have more time during the day to do stuff, but I'm still not doing much of anything. I mean, with Christmas around the corner, I'm doing more cleaning, but that's also something that I don't think anyone would be interested in seeing, me just cleaning. So, yeah. Until I feel like it, reading vlogs are off the table for me to make. And I don't want to just go to a journaling channel. I want to continue making book videos, but doing like TBRs and wrap-ups are something that I'm just not enjoying anymore, and they're way too repetitive. Book hauls, I don't buy enough books to haul. Usually I'd have to have them sitting on my floor for a couple months or more to make a decent sized video, and I just don't feel like doing that anymore. Tags, I like tags and stuff, but doing a lot of the fun bookish videos that I would like to do, I need the editing software that also lets me like put pictures and like videos or something on screen, or I don't even know how they put their laptop screen on the video. I don't know what that's called, but people can do it. I can't do it. I use the very basic free editing software because I make no money from YouTube, so I'm not going to spend money on YouTube. So I would like to do fun videos like that, but it would have to be limited to something where I would have to actually physically have the book to show you, or like a picture or poster or something that doesn't require me putting it on the screen. So I don't know, I kind of want to revamp my channel in 2022, but I also need to take a little break from it because I am not finding it fun to make or upload videos of any kind. It's just become a job, and it's not a job because I don't get paid for it. So I don't know. I did get a new tripod, one that hooks to the desk, and it's like an overhead camera shot kind of tripod. So that may make it funner to record things. I don't know if you guys know this, but I am on a very basic tripod, and anytime I have to film a video, it's usually in a very awkward position where I can't move at all. And I think that's pretty much all I needed to talk about. This video turned from a wrap-up to something completely different, and I apologize for that. But I really needed to let my thoughts and feelings out about that. And, you know, I think it was also important to touch on in this video that about reading vlogs in general. I mean, I really enjoy watching them, but just making them is burning me out, and I don't want to get like completely burnt out that I'll never do them again. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how everything goes. I may be in a certain mood and I may do a week-long reading vlog. I doubt it, but it definitely have to be just one. It would never be like a month-long reading vlog. I love month-long readathons, but because you don't feel like pressured with those. But vlogging those is gonna be a big no-no for me. I can't do that anymore. I'm getting old, and I hate to admit that. So yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye! 'Cause I'm in the stars tonight, so watch me bring